What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is CJ. This is Out of Bounds, and in today's video, we're doing another NBA Prize Picks board breakdown for January 28th. It's about a quarter till noon here on the East Coast, so if you're watching this video and checking out the projections and everything, well, they could change throughout the day, and they usually do for the most part, so always keep that in mind before you start locking in picks. If this is your first time to the channel, welcome. Here on Out of Bounds, we do everything from daily fantasy sports videos to all of the hottest off-the-field stories in sports. So if you like sports like I do, well, this is the perfect channel for you. I don't know why you're not subscribed yet, but definitely do subscribe, turn on notifications, like this video, leave a comment below, and share it with the entire world. We are 3 subscribers away from 300 subscribers. And I think that's pretty amazing for us being just, 1 month old. It's a couple days until the end of January, and we've only been doing this since January 1st, guys. So the momentum and growth is tremendous. I appreciate all of your support, and we will keep it going, starting with the month of February. But let's start talking some NBA prize picks for tonight. Starting with injury news. Top of the board here, Jusuf Nurkic is out indefinitely with that wrist injury. CJ McCollum out indefinitely with that foot injury. Kawhi Leonard and Paul George both out for Thursday for tonight due to COVID protocol. So the Clippers are going to be missing their top 2 stars once again. Devin Booker is doubtful with a hamstring. You'll have to keep a close eye on the news with Devin Booker. I'm not sure if he's going to play, but he's likely going to be out. Christian Wood is questionable with an ankle. He's saying he's going to play today, so keep an eye on that news as well. LeBron James questionable with an ankle. Of course, this will be a back-to-back for LeBron. Had a pretty good game last night, but if you took the over on LeBron, he fell just short. Just short. I mean, like barely like less than a point short. So unfortunately, he didn't get it done. Jimmy Butler is out again, out indefinitely due to COVID. Patrick Beverley, the point guard for the Clippers, is going to be out as well. So no Patrick Beverley, no Paul George, no Kawhi Leonard for the Clippers. Robert Covington's going to be out for the Trailblazers, and Tyler Herro questionable with a neck injury. He's missed his last few games. So that's the main guys. That's the main news. Let's get into some prize picks. So the very, very top of the board here, we've got Damian Lillard, point guard for the Portland Trailblazers. He's projected for 51.5 fantasy points tonight. Let's head over to our favorite site here, Roto Grinders, and see where they have Mr. Lillard projected. He's projected at 51.19 points using the FanDuel projections. And the reason we use FanDuel is because the FanDuel scoring system and the PrizePicks scoring system is the same. Same type of point system on both sites. So we can use FanDuel projections and get an accurate idea as far as how these projections are going to stack up tonight. So Lillard, 51. They are pretty much on the button with PrizePicks, in agreement with PrizePicks. Last game, 45.2 against OKC, 57 against the Knicks, 48.6 against the Spurs, 54.9 against the Hawks, and a 33.2 against the Pacers. Looking back at his previous game logs, we don't have any previous matchups against the Rockets to compare to. Tonight, he's expected to play a whole bunch of minutes, 39 minutes. He's a combo guard, and Houston are not very good against guarding combo guards like Damian Lillard. They rank 28th against combo guards. He's playing over 36 minutes a night, 1.25 fantasy points per minute. Very good number there. And his usage is also very good. This is elite usage, 31.14 for Damian Lillard. Now, before we go get all excited about Damian Lillard, easy for me to say, let's look at the game totals and spread. Houston, 117.25. Portland, 112.75. So you can see it's about a 4 to 5 point spread here, guys. It's not enough for me to say don't take him in a full game format or anything like that, but there is a little bit of a, decent size spread, I would say. Houston looking to be the favorite at home, but not going to fade Lillard in a first half format at all. Not going to fade Lillard in a full game format either. So there you have it. The projection looking pretty tight on Damian Lillard. This is going to be one of those kind of toss-ups as far as choosing the over or under. It's a pick 'em for me. I'm not seeing any edge here, but of course, if you're part of the PrizePicks Premium channel, I'm going to dig into a few other sites, and we're going to check out the projections for Lillard on up to 5 different fantasy sites and compare it with his projection on PrizePicks. So that's an advantage of being in the Premium PrizePicks channel. And if you're a part of that channel, well, congratulations to you. Most of us did pretty well in there last night. For me, it's now back-to-back nights of profit. I look to keep the momentum going tonight on this 4-game slate. The single sat stuff that I break down and really dig into really paid off. The Joel Embiid rebounds, the Andre Drummond rebounds, all that stuff really ended up working out for me last night. So we're going to keep the momentum going, hopefully. Now, let's talk the other side of this game here. Let's talk John Wall. Some of you guys in the Discord mentioned John Wall. Well, if you're not a part of the Discord, there's a link down in the description below. Discord's totally free for you to join. We've also got a premium channel for $20 a month, as I mentioned before, where we're winning very good money in there. So check out the Winner's Circle channel in the Discord once you join, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But John Wall, 36 is his projection tonight. Let's see where they like him. They got him at 33.43, which seems a little bit low, but, he is starting, just coming back, rather, for the Houston Rockets. He's trying to still get his legs under him. He's not playing a full run of minutes. As we know from last game, he had a minutes restriction. His minutes were being monitored, and you could see, guys, in his last 2 games, 20 minutes and 24 minutes. So he's not getting up there to that 30-plus minute marker yet. So we have to keep the expectations for John Wall and his production low and hope that he, under-promise, over-delivers kind of situation. So his last game, he put up 33.9 fantasy points. The one before that, 19.2. Now we're going all the way back here just to look at a few other game logs. January 12th against the Lakers, 23.5. And then January 10th against the Lakers, 38.5. And then finally, the Orlando Magic game, 23.6. So not very impressive in his last 5 games. The best one was his one here against the Lakers way back. But got to be careful with John Wall, especially with Christian Wood coming back. There's probably going to be less shots for John Wall, and you can expect his usage and all of that to go down. Tonight, he's projected to play 26 minutes, which, might be a little bit too generous. I mean, based on his last 2 games, he hasn't played 26 minutes, but we'll see. He is a combo guard, and the Trailblazers rank 18th against combo guards, so we're not afraid of the matchup whatsoever. 2 games and 3 nights for Wall, playing just over 31 minutes a night, 1.07 fantasy points per minute, good number there, and his usage is over 25 at 27.84, so you love the usage for Wall. And we talked about this game being pretty close, about a 5-point spread, so not really worried about a blowout. The thing I'm worried about Wall the most is his minutes. How many minutes is he going to get? So be careful there. Let's move on to the next game, though. We've got the Los Angeles Lakers. They're on a back-to-back tonight, and they'll be facing off against the Detroit Pistons. We're not going to talk LeBron. Let's talk Anthony Davis instead. Davis, I took the under on him last night, and it worked out for me. He didn't end up doing very much, surprisingly. It was more of a LeBron game. Davis did come on late in the game and started putting up some points, getting more touches. They kind of started to play through him in the 4th quarter, but tonight his projection is 47. Let's take a look and see where they like him. Well, this might be another night where you want to take the under on AD. He's projected at 44.67 on Roto Grinders. Let's open up his game logs. All right. So as you could see, last night against Philly, 39.6. And that was in 34.5 minutes of game time, guys. So it's not like he's playing limited minutes or anything. He's playing a healthy amount of minutes. He's just not really getting it done. I think with the additions of Schroeder and Harrell and Kuzma being there, and those guys, the stars like AD and LeBron are able to kind of take a back seat and let some of these role players do their thing. Tonight his last game against the Cavaliers, 50. The one before that, 56.7. Going back 4 games, 44.8. And a big one here, 61.9 against Golden State. If you look at his game logs, we don't have any matchups against Detroit yet. So let's move on to his minutes. Just 32 minutes on his projected minutes total tonight. So a light night for AD. He's a versatile big. Detroit ranking just 22nd against versatile bigs. This is a back-to-back and 3 games in 4 nights for Anthony Davis. Averaging over 32 minutes a night, almost 33 minutes, 1.4 fantasy points per minute. So very elite fantasy points per minute number there. And his usage is over 25 at 26.46. So very good usage rating as well. Now looking at the game total and spread here, you could see why his projection is kind of low, because LA is projected to be a 9.5 point road favorite here. So this is definitely one of those situations where there is a red alert for me. This game could blow out. If you're taking anybody in this game, full game format, you might want to take them, and take the under on their projection. If you're taking anybody in a first half format, make sure you get the guys that are going to be heavily involved for their teams, like the Anthony Davises, the LeBron Jameses, the Jeremy Grants, for example. And I would probably lean toward the over in a first half format. But there you have it. Definitely a red alert as far as blowout potential goes. On the other side of this game here, we're going to talk DeLon Wright. And the reason I'm talking Mr. Wright today is because last night, it looked like the under was the play on Wright, and Wright said, not so fast, and ended up having a pretty good game. He went over his projection tonight. Does he have it in him to do it again? Let's see. Maybe we can figure out DeLon Wright tonight. Let's go over to the point guard position here. Boop, boop, boop. There he is. 26.64 is his projection tonight. So again, this is setting up to be one of those situations where we take the under on DeLon Wright. Let's open up his recent game logs. All right. Wright's been balling, y'all. He has been balling. I got to give him that. His last game, 36.3. The one before that, 55.9 against Philly. 27.4 against Philly. 36.2 against Houston. And 30 against Atlanta. Now, his last 3 games, look at the minutes. 30 or more minutes in 3 out of his last 5 games. His last 3, 30 minutes, 36, 35. So he's starting to get an increase in minutes, and he's producing with these increased minutes. In his last 5 games, he has only failed to break tonight's projection of 28 one time in his last 5 games. And he came really darn close to doing it in that one, 27.4. So, we keep taking the under on DeLon Wright, or at least I did, and he exceeded that. And tonight he's projected to go under again. I just don't know if that's the way to go. You might want to buck the system here and go over on DeLon Wright. But let's look at his minutes. He's projected to play 29 minutes, so almost 30 minutes tonight. He's a combo guard. Lakers ranking 5th in the league against combo guards, so a tough matchup on paper. This is a back-to-back 3 games in 4 nights situation for Wright. He's playing over 27 minutes a night. 0.93 fantasy points per minute. Not bad for a role player like Wright. And his usage is 16.40, which is terrible. That's actually really bad for a guard. You figure a point guard or even a combo guard like Wright, who plays point shooting, would have a higher usage rate than 16.4. So that's pretty bad. But this guy keeps getting it done. He keeps overcoming this projection of 28. So this might set up to be one of those ones where you go against the projections and you say, instead of taking the under like Roto Grinders suggests, you might want to take the over on DeLon Wright based on recent game logs. So there you have it. Hopefully we figured out DeLon Wright tonight. Let's move on to the next game, though. We've got the Miami Heat versus the Los Angeles Clippers. We've already talked about it at the top of the show. No Paul George, no Kawhi Leonard, no Patrick Beverley. This is going to be another one of those games where we got to depend on guys like Serge Ibaka, Nicholas Batum, who let a lot of us down, Reggie Jackson. We didn't have him on the board last time. And Sweet Lou Williams. So who are we going to talk about tonight? Well, I don't want to go back to Batum because he broke our hearts, and Ibaka is not very exciting. So we're going to talk about the new guy here, Reggie Jackson. He is actually the highest projected player of the 4 Clippers that we have on the board. 33 is his projection tonight. Let's see if we could get a read on Reggie Jackson. His projection tonight is 29.2. So that is a healthy under versus what we're seeing on PrizePicks, right? Let's open up his game logs and see what he's been up to. Oh, wow. His last one was a big one, guys. He played over 39 minutes, putting up 47.4 fantasy points. This guy's been good in the past. I mean, when he was like the lead point guard for the Oklahoma City Thunder, post Russell Westbrook, this guy has had the ability to, put up some major games. He's very athletic. He's very capable as far as scoring the ball goes. And it's good to see him get an opportunity here at more minutes and make the most of them. Now, do I think he's going to get 47.4 fantasy points again tonight? Ooh, it's probably asking too much, but I do think he can get more than 14.5 or 1.5, 11.1, 23.3. So you could see some of his last few games here. He wasn't playing anywhere near 40 minutes. Let's just say that. Going back a little further here, let's just try and look and see for ourselves, when he does get more minutes. Here's a game where he got 26 minutes. 26 minutes against Minnesota. He put up 36.8 fantasy points. So when he gets minutes, he does well. And tonight, I think he's expected to get a good amount of minutes. 32 minutes tonight. He is a combo guard. Combo guards against Miami, no trouble here. Miami ranking just 29th in the league against combo guards. This is 2 games and 3 nights for Reggie Jackson. He's been playing just over 15 minutes per game, but of course we talked about that number is going to go way up tonight because the Clippers are shorthanded. 0.93 fantasy points per minute. Not bad at all for a guy who's considered a backup, a role player. But tonight, guys, that fantasy points per minute number is going to go through the roof. At least I think it will. But his usage ratings is 20.82. That should also go through the roof. So I like Reggie Jackson. And I don't believe that the under is the way to go here on him. I think PrizePicks has done a better job projecting him tonight at 33 than RotoGrinders has at this moment. Now, of course, RotoGrinders and their projections, they update throughout the day. Just like PrizePicks, they can change throughout the day. RotoGrinders changes throughout the day too. So the only way to get an accurate read on Reggie Jackson is, well, join the premium PrizePicks channel, because not only do I use RotoGrinders, but I use 4 other sites, and we combine all 5 of those sites, and I keep them updated throughout the day, and that'll give us a better read and more accurate take on Reggie Jackson if we should take the under or over on him. So there you have it. Now, we've talked a lot of Bam Adebayo for the Miami Heat. I don't want to talk about him again. I want to talk someone different. So let's talk Duncan Robinson, the sharp shooting swing man for the Miami Heat. He is projected for 22 fantasy points. Now, this guy is the definition of scoring dependent. When the shots falls, when his shot falls and the shots are falling is what I wanted to say. When his shot is falling, those fantasy points of 22 are easy peasy for Duncan Robinson. Let's take a look and see where they've got him on RotoGrinders. Where are you, sir? Am I missing him? Is he a small forward? Is he a small forward? I don't think he is. Oh, they got him at small forward on FanDuel. So tonight, they got him projected for 24 fantasy points. Let's open up his game logs and see what he's been up to. 15.5 in his last one versus Denver. 18 versus Brooklyn. 23.5 versus Brooklyn. 14.1 versus Toronto. And 21.1 versus Toronto as well. So he's been in that like mid-teens to lower 20 range. Every once in a while, he'll pop off for 34, 33, an upper 20 game. I mean, he's playing major minutes with them being shorthanded. No Tyler Herro, no Jimmy Butler, as we talked about. I believe Goran Dragic missed last night's game. So these guys are getting more minutes, more shots. Now, his shot has not been falling. 3 for 11, 1 for 10. Here's a little better game, 6 for 15. So as you can see, there's a correlation here. When his shot falls, his fantasy points projections or his fantasy point totals go up. So he's got to get that shot falling. Here's a 6 for 10 game, very efficient there. 9 for 14, 8 for 18. You could see the results. So Duncan Robinson's got to get those shots to drop in order for him to get you the fantasy points you need. Tonight, he's playing 35 minutes. Love that total. He's a shooting wing. We talked about it already. He's a sharpshooter. The Los Angeles Clippers ranking just 26th versus shooting wings. Of course, no PG, no Kawhi Leonard, no Patrick Beverley. Their three best defenders will be out for this game, so Duncan Robinson should have a much softer matchup. It was already looking soft with the Clippers ranking just 26th. I think it got even softer now. This is a back-to-back 3 games of 4 nights for Robinson, playing over 34 minutes a night. His fantasy points per minute number is terrible, 0.64. Not very good at all. Very, very low compared to the 1.0 or more fantasy points per minute that we typically look for. So that will go up, but still pretty abysmal. And then his usage rating is terrible too, 15.24. But if you ever watch this guy play, he's running off screens. He's constantly in motion. Think Reggie Miller. Think Ray Allen. Think Richard Hamilton. He's not going to score with the ball in his hands as far as kind of creating off the dribble. He's more of a catch and shoot guy. So Duncan Robinson and his usage rating, we'll give him a pass on that one because he's not the type of guy that's going to go ISO and score his buckets that way. He's going to be a catch and shooter coming off screens and stuff like that. But anyway, let's talk about the total and spread here. Miami is a favorite at home, 109.25 versus the Clippers, who are shorthanded, 105.25. So Miami is a 4-point favorite. This game does look like it's going to stay close. It does look like it will remain competitive. So for that reason, feel free to play Duncan Robinson in a first half only format or in a full game format, whichever you choose. He's definitely in play tonight in both. The next guy we're going to talk about is Steph Curry, the Golden State Warriors taking on the Phoenix Suns. This is a late game, 10:10 p.m. I want to talk Steph because last night Steph did not look like the Steph Curry we know and love. The shot wasn't falling. He shot very, very poorly, and let's just get into it. 48 is his projection tonight. If we go over to point guard here, way under 48 on Roto Grinders, 42.88. Let's call it 43 just to be nice. But even at 43, that puts him 5 points under his projection on PrizePicks. Let's look at his game log, 32.2 last night. So based on tonight's projection of 48, 32.2 doesn't even come close to getting the job done. 51.3 in the game before that one against Minnesota, 41.9 against Utah, 41.6 against the Knicks, and 48.7 against the Spurs. Skimming through his game logs, I don't see a previous game against Phoenix. Let's move on and talk minutes here. Projected to play 35 minutes tonight. He is a combo guard. Combo guards against Phoenix, no problem. Phoenix ranking just 22 against combo guards. This is a back-to-back, as we mentioned, with Curry. 3 games in 4 nights as well. He's playing almost 34 minutes a night, putting up a very healthy 1.3 fantasy points per minute. And his usage is just a tick below 33, so very elite usage for Steph. So the under is looking like the way to go. But let's look at the game totals and the spread. Phoenix, 111. Golden State, 109.5. So this is a 1.5 point spread, guys. This game should stay close and competitive throughout. So you can take Curry in a full game format. You could take Curry in a half game format. However you choose to roll out Curry, there is no wrong way tonight based on what I'm seeing. But according to these initial projections on Roto Grinders, the under is going to be the way to go on Mr. Stephen Curry tonight. Now, let's talk the other side of the ball. Shout out to my man Anthony. He called it. He said, I'm taking the over on Chris Paul. He said this like way early in the day, early before the afternoon maybe. Maybe he said in the morning, I don't know, but he called his shot like Babe Ruth. He called his shot, and man, did this guy hit a home run. So shout out to Anthony T. He was right on Chris Paul last night. Let's see if he's right on Chris Paul again. Can Chris Paul go over? Let's look at the projections. His projection tonight, 39.13. So that put him just a tick under the 40 on PrizePicks. Let's open up his recent game logs and see what he's been up to. Wow, without Devin Booker in the lineup, Chris Paul has been putting in work. 44.5 in the game last night against his former team, the Oklahoma City Thunder. So maybe there was a little extra added motivation for Chris Paul to ball. 55.3 against Denver, 37.3 against Denver, 25.8 against Houston, and 30.1 against Memphis. Looking back here, I don't see a previous game log of Chris Paul versus Golden State. So let's dig into the minutes here. He's looking to play 32 minutes tonight. He's a pass-first point guard, more of a floor general type. This matchup against Golden State ranks second in the league against distributor point guards. This is a back-to-back for Chris Paul. He's playing nearly 33 minutes a night, putting up 1.06 fantasy points per minute, and his usage rating is 23.12. I'd like for that to be a little bit higher for a lead guard like Chris Paul, but you know, with guys like Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, even Michael Bridges, you know, the usage rating is just fine. I'm not worried about that. So game's expected to stay close. Devin Booker is not expected to play. And this is a primetime matchup. This is Chris Paul and Steph Curry here. You can't ask for much more than that. I know Chris Paul is kind of a fading star, but you got to believe that he's going to be motivated to come out and put on a show against Steph Curry. So the projections like him to go slightly under what he's projected on PrizePicks at 40, but I could definitely see this being another situation where Chris Paul shows up and turns in a good performance tonight. But that's going to do it for today's show, guys. What do you think? Is there anybody that I talked about that you disagree with me on as far as the over, the under? Is there anybody that I missed that you're really looking forward to locking in your lineups? Let me know down in the comments section below. I read all your comments. I try to give them a little heart. I try to give them a little reply when I can. So I appreciate you guys getting down there and mixing it up with me. I love hearing who you're playing on a nightly basis. But that's going to do it for today's video. This has been CJ for Out of Bounds. I wish you guys good luck tonight. For everybody in the Premium PrizePicks channel, let's make it 3 nights in a row of profits. Let's keep building on what we've started. And until the next one, you guys be safe. We'll catch you then.